Good morning. As most of you know, in Sweden it was different, right, during the last pandemic, especially during the first year. The reason for this is that we have this health agency and they had instructions to look at science. So other countries, they forced people to wear the masks, right? And that Swedish agency said, no, we can't do it because it's not science, you see. And other countries locked people up, and that agency said, no, it's not science. And that agency talked about herd immunity. Maybe you remember this. So it was very different in Sweden. And of course the government, their instructions was to listen to that agency, you see. So they couldn't go out and force people either. So that's what happened. And the result in Sweden was very good. And this was of course a problem for big pharma and WHO, right? That Sweden did very well with this tactic, right? So it was a problem to them, and now they solved it. It just happened. So the government solved it, the Swedish government. They now say that this agency, they can go with the best available knowledge. You know? Yeah, I know, it's fantastic. So they don't have to wait for science, they can just go with the best knowledge. So whatever it is, if they consider this knowledge to be the best, they can recommend stuff, right? Whatever it is. If it's like beating people with sticks or putting people's faces into mud or whatever, you know, they can recommend it now if they think it's the best. They don't have to look for science. Isn't it amazing? Now, I'm not surprised because I knew they had to handle this. They can't have one country doing things differently, right? So there was, of course, pressure from Big Pharma and the WHO. And now Sweden complied. This is what happened. So the next time this happens, when the next thing comes, Sweden will be no different. So just so you know, right? No, I think it's amazing, right? It's predictable still, isn't it? No, they are so damn eager to get this stuff into everybody, right? This needle. They just have to get it into everybody, right? Now, I'm sort of looking forward to it, the next one. We have been talking about 2025, right? And maybe it comes now. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen. See how many people are obedient still. Because it's up to the people. We can't expect the authorities or the politicians to say no to this. They will not, right? So it's up to the individual to say no. Like it was the last time. So there will be lots of pressure, I suppose. How many woke up during these last 4 or 5 years? I'm just curious to see. I know I will not do anything they tell me, you see. But I want to observe people to see what they do. And what will media do? Well, I pretty much know what the media will do. But people, interesting stuff, I think. No, you have to say no. That's the thing. And I think people should listen to me, you know, when the next thing comes. Yeah, that's what they should do. They should just tune in and listen to me. And I will tell them. And I will be correct about it. And there are lots of others who will be correct. Just listen to these guys who said no the last time. Just listen to them. And look into it yourself. This is my advice to you if you're listening. if any of you obedient idiots are listening, this is my advice to you. I also want to tell you about this. This is from France. Now, it's in French, this clip, and my French is not very good, right? But this is what I understand, right? So there's a TV show. It's a guy called Pascal Parot, and he's got journalists in the studio, 5 of them, and they talk about the needle. And they say, you know what they say? They say this. They knew that the needle didn't protect against infection. They knew it. But they couldn't say it because they risked their jobs. This is what these guys say, apparently. So I'll post a link to that clip. Wow. Well, I sort of thought this was the case. There must have been journalists who understood things. There must have been, you know. And of course, they were silenced. Right. Be good.